Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day. Today, we're diving into a dramatic twist. Alex vanishes in the mountain fog. Tuna and her feverish baby get into a terrible accident, and when she finally reaches the hospital, she discovers Alex was found injured too. Was it really just an accident, or is someone behind it? Stay with me till the end, and if you enjoy it, don't forget to hit subscribe so you won't miss the next videos. That morning, the mountain pass looked erased. Thick fog draped the road like a white blanket, swallowing trees, cliffs, and the next curve ahead. Alex drove his old pickup slowly, eyes sweeping both sides of the winding lane. He wasn't in the office today. Even as the CEO of a flour mill high in the mountains, he wanted to survey the market himself. For weeks, he'd been planning a new buying point, somewhere closer to the villagers so they wouldn't have to carry sacks so far. It would help the mill too, but the spot had to be safe. In rainy season, one bad curve could become a death trap. Dim light pierced the mist in thin streaks. Alex slowed at a sharp bend that always made him uneasy. He pulled over, grabbed a small notebook, and stepped out. Cold wind cut through his clothes. The soil under his boots was damp and slick, and the edge of the road dropped into a valley hidden by fog. He leaned forward, picturing a loaded truck climbing that curve. If we open a point here, can trucks even make it up? He muttered. In rainy season, this place will be deadly. He took one more careful step for a better angle. Then his foot slid hard on wet earth. Alex lunged for a bush, fingers closing around branches, only to feel them snap. His balance vanished and he plunged. He tumbled over rocks until he slammed onto a lower ledge. The sound echoed once, then the pass went silent again. Alex lay unconscious, breathing faintly. Blood trickled from a scrape on his forehead. Above him, the wind howled through the trees, cold and indifferent. No one saw. The fog swallowed him. For a man who usually controlled meetings, numbers, and schedules, the silence was unreal. 1 minute he was planning a better life for the villagers. The next, he was just a body hidden under mist. His phone was buried somewhere in the dirt, his pickup parked above like a ghost, and the pass kept breathing fog as if nothing happened. If any car drove by, the driver would only see white air and wet rock, not the injured man below. Out here, status didn't matter. The mountain cared only about gravity, cold, and time. And in that kind of place, a passerby can be the difference between a life and a loss. Deep in the mountain forest, Huang, about 60, walked a narrow trail with a bamboo basket heavy on her back, filled with wild greens and herbs. She lived in a small wooden house with her daughter Huang, and she had one rule: if someone is in trouble, you help. She bent to pick herbs when a dull thud rose from below the cliff. Huang froze. "Who's there?" she called into the fog. No answer. She followed broken branches and scuffed soil, then saw a man lying motionless, dust on his clothes, a cut on his forehead, breath weak but present. Huang dropped her basket and knelt, shaking his shoulder gently. "Hey! Can you hear me?" Nothing. "If there's life, you save it," she told herself, then shouted up the trail, "Someone, please help." A neighbor heard and hurried over. Together they carried the unconscious man to Huang's house. Huang spread a mat on the bamboo bed, propped his head, and asked for warm water and clean cloth. The neighbor hesitated. Bringing a stranger home? What if he's dangerous? Huang didn't waver. Dangerous or not, we deal with later. Right now, he's near death. Leaving him would be shameful. She wiped his face, pressed a warm cloth to his forehead, and watched his breathing. Late afternoon, Huang, 18, returned from selling medicine in the village. She stepped inside and froze at the sight of a strange man on their bed. "Mom, why is there a man here?" Huang rushed in, staring at him, then at her mother. Her voice shook. "Do you even know who he is? What if he's bad?" Huang stayed calm. "I found him near the cliff. If I didn't help, he would die." "But this is our home," Huang insisted. "You brought him straight here." Huang met her daughter's eyes. "You sell medicine to people every day. Do you check if they're good or bad first? Turning away from someone dying, how do you sleep after that?" Huang's breath hitched. The argument died. Fear turned into action. She opened her basket, took antiseptic and bandages, cleaned the scrape on the man's forehead, and wrapped it carefully. She checked his breathing again, then looked at Huang. "He's breathing steadily," Huang said. "He'll be okay, at least for now." Huang nodded, relieved. "Then we're not too late. Tonight we make porridge. When he wakes, he needs something warm." On another side of the mountain, Tuna, 17, a single mother, held her feverish child in a tiny rented room. The baby's face was flushed, skin burning, breaths too fast. Tuna pressed a palm to the forehead and felt panic flood her. She searched for medicine and found only expired packets. She thought of Alex, the only one who had recently shown her the nearest clinic and the quickest downhill path. She called him. No answer. Again, still nothing. "No, I have to find him," she whispered. She wrapped a scarf around the baby, lifted the child close, and ran into the thick fog. "Alex, Alex, please!" she cried. But the mist swallowed her voice. She asked passers-by, but they shook their heads. The fog was too dense. The baby weakened in her arms, cries fading. Tuna's mind went blank, except for one thought: move faster. Tears mixed with fog on her cheeks as she pushed onward. Crossing a narrow section of road, a sharp horn blasted. A car appeared out of nowhere and slammed on the brakes. Tuna had only time to clutch her child tighter and curl her body protectively. Impact hurled them down. Pain exploded through her, but her eyes went straight to the baby. The child cried once, then went limp again, still burning with fever. The driver stumbled out, trembling. "Oh God, I'm calling an ambulance!" Tuna tried to lift her head, dizzy and fading, whispering, "My child, please save my child." Back at Huang's house, the phone rang. Huang answered and went pale. "Mum, accident near the foot of the pass. A very young woman holding her child got hit. They're taking them to the hospital." Huang froze, eyes darting to the man on the bed. "A young woman with a child," she whispered. Could it connect to him? Right then, Alex coughed and stirred. His eyelids fluttered open. "Water," he rasped. Huang rushed to help him drink. Alex looked around, panic rising. "Where am I?" "My house," Huang said quickly. "I found you near the cliff." Alex tried to sit up, memory flashing. "Tuna, her child, I need to..." Huang's eyes widened. "You know Tuna? A woman named Tuna had an accident. To the hospital." Alex reeled. "What?" He pushed to stand, but Huang pressed his shoulder down. "You're injured. To help anyone, stay alive first." At the town hospital, the halls buzzed with rushing footsteps. The child was taken in first, Tuna right after. Tuna drifted in and out, whispering, "My child, my child." Hours later, the room quieted. A monitor beeped softly. Tuna opened her eyes and saw her child beside her with an IV, breathing steady. Relief hit her so hard she cried. A nurse leaned closer. "The child is safe now, you too, please rest." Tuna swallowed, then fear returned. And Alex? Where is he? Is he okay? The nurse hesitated. Tuna gripped the blanket, voice shaking. "Please, tell me, is he alive or dead?" The nurse's pause is tiny, but to Tuna it lands like a punch. Her fingers clamp the blanket and her voice comes out shaky. "Please, tell me, is Alex okay?" The monitor beside her baby keeps a steady beep. The nurse glances toward the doorway, then back at Tuna. "I don't have confirmed information about him," she says gently. "Right now your child is safe. You need to rest." Tuna shakes her head hard. "He would never disappear like this," she insists. "His phone? He never turns it off. Something happened." The nurse hesitates, then nods like she understands the fear. "Let me check at the desk," she says. "Stay in bed. Don't strain yourself." Tuna nods, but once the nurse leaves, she can't stay still. Pain throbs in her side and shoulder, but anxiety is louder. She looks at her baby first, IV in place, breathing steady, and whispers, "Please be okay." Then her eyes dart to the door again, as if Alex might walk in any second. Minutes drag. Tuna's mind replays everything in jagged pieces. The baby's burning fever, the expired medicine, her calls that wouldn't connect, the foggy road, the horn, the crash. Her stomach twists at one thought. She ran into the fog looking for Alex, and ended up here without him. Back at Huang's wooden house, the air is no longer quiet. The porridge on the stove is forgotten, steam thinning as the fire dies down. Huang paces with the phone pressed to her ear, voice fast and urgent, trying to get someone with a vehicle. Huang stays beside the bamboo bed, one hand on Alex's shoulder to keep him from sitting up too quickly. Alex is awake now, eyes wide, face pale, bandage tight around his forehead. He tries to move, and pain flashes across his expression. "I have to go," he says, voice rough. "Tuna, her baby!" "I heard," Huang cuts in, firm but not unkind. "And you will, but not like this." Alex swallows, breathing hard. He looks like a man trapped between two disasters, his body refusing to cooperate and his heart refusing to wait. Huang rushes in. "A neighbor is coming with a motorbike," she says. "But he can't ride." "Then I'll walk," Alex snaps, already trying to swing his legs off the bed. Huang steps closer, voice sharper. "And collapse on the road? To help anyone, you need to stay alive first." That line hits him. Alex freezes, jaw clenched, eyes burning with panic and guilt. "She called me," he whispers. "I couldn't answer. I couldn't." Huang grabs a scarf and wraps it around his neck. "Listen," she says, lower now, steady. "You're breathing because someone didn't leave you in the fog. Don't waste that chance." Alex nods, once, tight, unwilling, but real. The neighbor arrives, and with Huang carrying a small bag of bandages and medicine, they help Alex out of the house. Fog presses in immediately, cold and wet. Alex leans on the neighbor's arm, each step a jolt of pain, but he keeps moving anyway. All he can think is, please let them be alive. At the hospital, the nurse returns. Her expression is careful. Tuna's heart drops. "What? Please." The nurse lowers her voice. "There was a man brought in earlier from the mountain pass area," she says. "Injured. Not fully registered yet. I heard the name Alex mentioned, but I can't promise it's the same person." Tuna goes cold. "Where is he?" "Emergency observation," the nurse answers. "But you shouldn't." Tuna is already pushing herself upright. Dizziness hits and she grabs the bed rail. Pain burns along her ribs, but she forces her legs to steady. "I just need to see," she says, breath trembling. "One look." The nurse tries to guide her. "Slowly, hold the wall." Tuna moves down the hallway with one hand on the wall, the other pressed to her side. They reach a section lined with curtains and monitors. The nurse points. "Over there." Tuna steps past the curtain and her breath stops. A man lies on the bed, head bandaged, face pale, clothes still marked with dirt. His chest rises slowly. The shape of his jaw, the curve of his brow, there's no mistaking him. "Alex," Tuna whispers, like saying his name will wake him. Tears spill instantly. She takes a half step closer, then freezes, afraid to touch him too hard. She just stands there, shaking, eyes locked on his face. A doctor notices her and approaches. "Miss, you can't be here long," he says. Tuna turns to him, desperate. Is he stable? Is he alive? The doctor checks the chart, then nods. "He's stable," he says. "Head injury, bruising. He needs rest and monitoring." He was found injured near the pass. Tuna's knees nearly buckle from relief. "Thank you," she whispers, voice cracking. "Thank you." Then the relief shifts into a new fear, sharper, more suspicious. "Found near the pass?" she repeats quietly. "How did he get hurt? Why couldn't I reach him?" The doctor doesn't answer. "Rest," he repeats, then gently gestures for her to leave. Tuna nods quickly. She looks at Alex one last time, memorizing the fact that he is breathing, that he is here. Then she turns back toward her baby, moving faster despite the pain. Outside, a motorbike pulls up at the hospital entrance. Alex sways as he gets down, but he forces himself upright. Huang stays close, her hand hovering behind his back, ready to catch him. Alex scans the signs and corridors. He doesn't care about the stairs. He doesn't care about his own throbbing head. He only cares about finding Tuna and the child. "Tuna," he mutters, voice thin, like her name is his only direction. He turns a corner and stops, because down the hallway Tuna is there, walking fast, one hand on the wall, face wet with tears. They lock eyes. For a beat, everything else fades. The hospital noise, the rushing people, the cold fog outside. Tuna's lips tremble. "Alex." Alex takes a step toward her, then another, wincing with every movement. "I'm here," he says, voice breaking. "Where's the baby?" Tuna rushes forward and grips his sleeve like she needs proof he's real. "He's safe," she sobs. I thought you were gone." Alex's face tightens. Guilt hits him hard. "I'm sorry," he whispers. "I fell. I couldn't answer. I tried to get here as soon as I woke up." Huang and Hong arrive behind him, watching quietly. Tuna glances at them, confusion flickering, but it's swallowed by relief and shaking fear. Because even with Alex standing here alive, one heavy question still hangs between them. How did he fall in that fog? And was it really an accident? In thick mountain fog, CEO Alex drives his old pickup to scout a safe location for a new buying point to help villagers. At a dangerous curve, the wet ground gives way, and he falls down a rocky slope, left unconscious and hidden by mist. Deep in the forest, Huang hears the impact, finds him barely breathing, and brings him to her wooden house despite fears he could be dangerous. Her daughter Hong returns, argues at first, then helps bandage his head and agrees to care for him. On another mountain road, 17-year-old single mom Tuna panics when her baby burns with fever and she can't reach Alex for help. She runs into the fog, searching for him, but a car suddenly appears, and hits her. At the hospital, doctors stabilize the baby with an IV, but Tuna wakes terrified about Alex's fate. Later, she learns an injured man named Alex may be there, and she rushes to confirm he's alive.